think about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Welcome to the UFC on ESPN 46 Picks and Prediction Show by yours truly, Cage. If you haven't done so already, please smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section after you're done watching this. Let me know what you think of my picks and predictions, and give me your own picks and predictions and any bets that you're going to be placing for this Saturday's UFC on ESPN fight card. Of course, I am part of the Bloodline Entertainment Network, so if you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and follow us on the Bloodline Entertainment Network on YouTube. As you see right here, we are on www.youtube.com/@thebloodlineentertainment. So give us a subscribe and follow, and definitely check out all the content that we have on here. We got anywhere from sports to entertainment, MMA. We got even movie and cinema with the grading of the director's cut. And we're going to be rocking out on Twitch from nowadays on Mondays with, of course, the Bloodline Twitch network, Bloodline Entertainment Gaming. That's going to be on every Monday night. So we got a little bit of everything for you. And, of course, plug in my show, Cage My IQ. You can follow me and subscribe to me on social media at Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. My YouTube handle is Cage by IQ, so give us a follow on there, subscribe, and definitely check out all the content I have for MMA and wrestling. And lastly, I got merch out now, as you see right there. All you gotta do is follow us on FightersFirst.shop. Mike Ginn's wrestling and MMA collection is top notch. He has the new Cage by IQ merchandise with the new logo, as you see right there. We got it in white, we got it in gray, and we got it in green. So all you gotta do is go to FightersFirst.shop, buy one of my new shirts, and let me know what you think. I love the feel of the shirt. It is great. It fits on everybody, and it's, of course, Cage My IQ certified. So definitely check out my merch right there. We got a fun-packed card for you guys. This is coming after a week off for Memorial Day, so we were able to take the week off and soak up in the sun now that it's summertime, and get ready for this nice 2-month stretch of MMA content. Every week, we got a new UFC card to break down for you guys, and right now it's the UFC on ESPN 46. It is headlined by Kai Kara France versus Amir Albazi in UFC Apex this Saturday, June 3rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me get started with the first of 13 fights for you on this card to get you guys ready for your picks and for your bets. The first fight that we have for you guys here is a light heavyweight matchup between Maxime Grisham going up against Felipe Lins. We got Felipe Lins here at the plus 120 underdog, and then we got Maxime Grisham, who is the favorite at minus 150. I'm going with Maxime Grisham in this matchup. He's the taller fighter. He's the stronger guy. He doesn't throw as a good speed and a flurry rise as Felipe Lins, but he is the better range fighter. He knows how to control the pace. He's better in the clinch. He's the stronger guy. He's the guy that's going to push up, throw the elbow, and just control the output, get the fight into his wheelhouse. Whereas Felipe Lins is more of a stronger guy. He's going to throw at power. He's going to look to take you down. He's going to look to throw combinations. But when you got a guy who has good takedown defense and Maxime Grisham, who's also better at controlling the pace, I think he's going to keep distance when he has to, throw more than Lins, use those leg kicks, use those straight, longer punches with the reach, and then get into the clinch when he needs to, push against the cage, and do some damage there. So in this matchup, I'm going with Maxime Grisham by unanimous decision victory. So in this matchup. Next fight on this card, we got a men's bantamweight matchup in UFC between Luan Lacerda going up against Damashir. This is going to be an interesting matchup on the card. We got two bantamweights. We got Luan Lacerda minus 130. We got Damon Blackshear, who is the plus 100. Stylistically, this is similar styles in that, and this is going to make for a good matchup. Luan Lacerda is all about the grappling, jiu-jitsu style. He's all about trying to get down, trying to get a submission on you. He throws a lot of leg kicks, and he uses that to get into the clinch. But then you've got Damon Blackshear, who's all about the grappling, more wrestling based, but he has a boxing background as well, so he's very good at throwing punches. He looked good last time. He got edged out in that matchup, and that's why I lost. But I'm going with the underdog here. I'm going with Damon Blackshear. I think he gets it done by a decision here. I think he's going to be the guy throwing more volume. I think the striker with the hands is always going to benefit better than the guy who only throws kicks. I could see Damon Blackshear being the better grappler, because I always say wrestling base over jiu-jitsu base, because it's easier to take a guy down with your wrestling than it is your jiu-jitsu. You're kind of limited with the jiu-jitsu styles that you can do, but with wrestling, you have more entryways into getting the fight down. That's why I see Blackshear. I think I see him taking down Lacerda, controlling him on the mat, using his transitions, just throwing volume, and on the feet, I think he has more success there as well. I see him clinching up along the cage, throwing elbows, throwing those knees, throwing those combinations with the boxing background. And I think he wins by decision, and then he controls the fight. So I'm going with the plus 100 underdog here in Damon Blackshear. I could be playing him this Saturday. We'll see how it goes. I want to see the weigh-ins for this one, but don't be surprised if I play him to win with the odds that he has here. So Damon Blackshear by decision. Let's move on to the next fight on the prelims. We get all matchup between up against Elise. This is one of the matchups that you get, and I'm looking for this one. We got one both sides. Basically, a pick'em fight. I'm going with Elise by decision. This could be a theme of the night with this decision, because we don't have too much big time knockout power guys on this until we get later on where we have chances. But to me, this is a fight where you got Jinyu Frey. She's all about control based and picking her shots. She's a striker. She likes to grapple along the fence, but she's not going to look to throw you down. She's about volume count, movement, dictating the pace, pushing against the cage, and just utilizing her gas tank. Whereas Elise Reed, she's all about the clinch. She has a striking background, but she also has a wrestling background as well. In this fight, she's not going to have to worry about getting taken down, which is one of her weaknesses, because Jinyu Frey doesn't like to take the fight to the ground. She likes to keep the fight standing, where her striking is out of fight. I'm going with the lead decision. Like I said, this is she can control the fight, stronger fighter. She's better with the striking, in my opinion, in Flores. She's better at getting the fight to the ground. She has great top guard. She has great transitions when she's doing that. And I think she can avoid those long combination counts by Jinyu Frey and kind of get this to a dirty fight, and that favors her. So I'm going with Elise Reed to get back in the win column here. Plus, I do not like the how last fight earned where jiu-jitsu artist in Viana knocked out Jinyu Frey. She's 38, and I have a feeling that she's not going to be the same fighter now, as she could be retiring soon. So I'm going with the younger, fresher fighter in Elise Reed to pick this one up by decision in this matchup. Let's move on to the next fight on the prelims. Once again, just to remind you guys, this is HMIQ. Please do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section. Give me your feedback on these picks, and I want to know who you're going with. I want to know who you're going to doing from a better standpoint as well as prediction standpoint. I call it picks and predictions. I want to hit it from both sides of the warehouse. But let's move on. We got Daniel Santos, a.k.a. Willie Cat, going up against Johnny Munoz Jr., a.k.a. Kid Cramba. We got the -200 in Willie Cat, and then we got +160 in Kid Cabambo. I'm going with Daniel Santos in this matchup. I like his striking style. He has a lot of good qualities. He throws for combinations. He has the power. He has the skill. Of course, he trains at shootbox, so he does have the experience. He looked great in his last fight. He comes back from behind, and he'll win a fight. He has that charisma. And then you got Johnny Munoz Jr., who has that jiu-jitsu piece. Everything they've thrown, which is majority leg kicks and then just one punch strikes, it's to get into the clinch, to get the body lock, the leg trip, to then use to his advantage on the mat where he has good control time and great submission transitions. He's always looking for submissions. I think that he's going to have a hard time on the feet to get into the clinch. I see Daniel Santos dominating this fight, landing power, landing combinations, keep the movement going, avoid the close combat with Johnny Munoz Jr. I think he gets it done in the second round by knockout. I'm going with the -200 favorite and Daniel Santos by second round knockout. I don't think this is a good matchup for Johnny Munoz Jr. unless he gets lucky and he can take Daniel Santos down. I just think the striking qualities are just vastly different, and Santos is going to take advantage of it and get this fight out in the second round. So once again, Daniel Santos by second round knockout. Let's move on to the next matchup. On the prelims, we've got a men's heavyweight battle between the savvy long veteran Andre Arlovski going up against Dontel Mayes. I'm going to keep it short and sweet with you. I'm going with Andre Arlovski by decision. As much as I want to go with Dontel Mayes because he's the taller, more powerful fighter with knockout power, he's let me down in the last few fights. He's had good matchups, and he just seems to always get controlled and taken down in fights. And Andre Arlovski is the type of fighter now where he's looking to counter fighters. He's looking to grapple up with them, take them down, take away their biggest strength, and then use it against them. And that is his one punch knockout power, Dontel Mayes. So he's going to look to take him down, get the fight to the mat, control him on the mat, because we've seen that Dontel Mayes has a hard time getting up from takedowns. He doesn't have very good get-ups. So I have Andre Arlovski win this one by unanimous decision victory in this one. It's going to be a boring fight, taking place a lot on the ground. When they are on the feet, I see him moving around, avoiding that big shot by probably circling that side, so he doesn't give Dontel Mayes that chance to kind of wind up and throw his shots. He's going to make Mayes throw from the opposite hand, and then he's going to clinch up along the fence. So I'm going with the -115 slight favorite here in Andre Arlovski by decision. And until I see Dontel Mayes prove us differently, I'm going the opposite way. I can't take him, even though I want to. He has to prove himself before I can be able to take him from now on. So I'm going with Andre Arlovski in this matchup. Let's move on to the next fight. We got John Castaneva. This is a tough matchup because we've seen a lot from Castaneva to prove that he is a good fighter. He just, of course, last fight he got tired, and then Santos came back and beat him in that one. It's all going to be about can John Castaneva control his gas tank, not throw everything into the first round, just manage his production, manage his movement, manage just everything so that he can last all 3 rounds, unless he knows that he's going to get the finish, because he has the power, He has the strike and he has the movement. He's pretty decent in the clinch. But then you got Mateus Menduca, who has showcased himself as well with the striking and grappling. I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to go with Mateus Menduca. I think that John Castaneda's gas tank is going to be a big issue. I don't see that with Mateus Menduca. Whatever Castaneda throws at Menduca, he survives it. And then from there on out, I control the fight, landing shots, landing punch, doing what he needs to do. And I see Mateus Menduca getting a late fight by submission or by KO, whichever he picks. But I got him by third round finish in this fight. I do think he pulls it out. I do think John Castaneda gets it done early, but Mateus survives, and then that's when he takes over for rounds 2 and 3. And I think he gets it done in the late portion of round 3. So I'm going with Mateus Menduca in this matchup, the plus 145 underdog by late fight finish. Moving on to the next fight here, we got a welterweight battle between Alezu Selesky going up against Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov. This is very good. You got Zaleski's the minus 145 favorite, and then you got Nurmagomedov, who's the plus 120 underdog. I'm going with the underdog here in Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov. You got Alezu Selesky, who has that power in his punch. It's more about selection. He lines up and he has that power, and one punch power. He's pretty good in the clinch. But I just like what Abu Bakar does better. He showcased himself a little bit more lately. He has those good leg kicks. He has the good selection in the combinations with his hands. He can mix the leg and the hands up well together. Of course, he has that wrestling base background and submissions that he can do on the feet. He's very good with the control. I'm going with him here by decision. I think the wrestling base is going to be the big thing here. When you got Selesky, he's going to look to throw the overhand knockout punches. Abu Bakar is going to go get into the clinch, take him down, and then control and do damage on the ground. I think that's a big factor here. Like I said before, wrestling over BJJ all day to me, because the round takedown compared to a BJJ stance. And could be a fight that's close because of the one punch power of less. I could see him rocking Abu Bakar once, twice. But other than that, I see the wrestling base being a big part for Abu Bakar in this fight. And I think he gets it done by decision or split decision over the favorite Selesky. So I'm going with the plus 120 underdog in Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov by decision. Let's move on to a matchup that I could see people split on here. We got a men's lightweight matchup between Garar Kuda against Jamie Malarkey. This is going to be a fun fight that could go both ways. Let's get it here right now. You got Garam, who is the minus 300 heavy favorite. You got Jamie Malarkey, who's the huge plus 240 underdog. I'm going with the favorite here in Garam Kuda to win by late finish here. We've seen that even though Jamie Malarkey has the very good kickboxing background, he's good in the clinch, he has power. He'll mix up the leg kicks to the leg and then the combinations to the body very well. He's trained at City Kickboxing, where you got all these killers in the matchup. But he's going up against a guy who's very good in the clinch, very good power, throws good. He has good top guard on the ground. He has good ground and pound. And he's very all about control base with his attack. And we've seen, of course, that Jamie Malarkey gets hit very easily in fights, and then he takes a lot of damage. So that's why I'm leaning towards Garam Selesky by late finish, possibly by round 2 finish, by ground and pound. I just don't think that Jamie Malarkey has what it takes to defend the takedowns, to defend the striking, and to get off enough to do damage to the Garam. Garam has grappled with the best. He put it out there in a matchup against Matthias Gamrot, where a lot of people thought that it could have just be dominated the fight, could have went either way, but he looked good in that matchup. And Jamie Mullarkey has struggled with the talent that he's put up against so far, and he's fought the lesser competition. So I'm going with the favorite here by decision or late finish in Garam Kudatelski. I'm not going to bet this because I think the minus 300 mark is too big, but the line moves anywhere under minus 300, gets close to the 200, 250 for him come fight night. I might take a stab at it, but right now I'm going to stay away from it. But I'm definitely playing him in picks, late decisions. To the next fight here, we got a women's flyweight matchup between Karine Silva going up against Ketlin Souza in the flyweight division. We got Silva, who's the minus 180. We got Ketlin Souza, who's the plus 140 underdog. I'm going with Ketlin. I'm going with Karine Silva by first round finish via submission. A lot of her finishes are in the first round by submission. She has good base. She has good grappling, good power on her hands. She has just endless cardio when it comes to the first round. You got Ketlin Souza, who has a good Muay Thai base, throws good leg kicks, good counter punches. She's pretty decent in the clinch, but I just see Karine Silva being more dominant. She has fought the better competitions. I would have loved to see her kept her former opponent before the fight got, of course, canceled, and then now she's paired with Ketlin Souza. Ketlin Souza has fought good competition in Invicta, but it's a big difference fighting people from Invicta to jumping right in and taking a fight on short notice in the UFC and fighting somebody like Karine Silva. So I think this is a good fight for Karine Silva to kind of utilize a more rounded attack, but I think she's still done by first round submission. I see her clinching up, taking the fight down, and getting her by guillotine choke before she gets her to tap. So, and she's a minus 180 favorite, so I might be looking to pick her to win by money line, and I could be waiting to see what the submission line is for Silva come Thursday or Friday, because I might bet her to also win secondary by submission as well, which could be a plus number here with bet odds. So definitely check out Cage's bet slip later in the week. Let's move on to the next fight on the main card. Before we do, of course, as I told you guys earlier, please, if you haven't done so already, smash the like button down below. It'll help us up with the algorithm, and then also leave us a comment in the comment section. Give me your feedback and your picks and predictions for UFC on ESPN 46. But on this fight we have for you, we got the men's flyweight matchup between Tim Elliott, the minus 150 favorite, going up against Victor Altamirano, the plus 120 underdog. I'm going with the savvy bet favorite pick and Tim Elliott by decision. I just think that he looked very good last fight. Of course, he is the veteran. He is really good with his combinations on the feet. He throws more volume. He is really good in the clinch. He's good at taking fights down. He's fought the vastly better competition. He's good with the ground and pound top guard. He just has a better overall game than Altamirano, who's all about just output based. He's more content fighter. He throws patiently. It kicks leg kicks to the feet and a pop, but it's all about being patient and not overdoing production wise. He's gonna try and get the fight into like a low output style, and that favors him, whereas Elliott, he throws it out the window. He's all base, and he has great cardio on top of that. And at minus 150, you get a great price tag for a veteran like that who's looking to make one more run at the title at the flyweight division. So I'm going with Tim Elliott by decision. He could get a finish in this fight if he decides to go for one, but I see him just grinding this out, doing damage to Altamirano, using the gas tank to his advantage to ride him to a decision victory in this matchup. So I'm going with the minus 150 favorite in Tim Elliott. Let's move on to the featured bout on the main card. We got a men's lightweight battle between Jim Miller going up against Jared Gordon. I'm actually kind of surprised that Jared Gordon is taking a fight this fast after getting knocked out by Bobby Green, where he got headbutted and then knocked out afterwards as a result of the headbutt. But he's thinking that plays a part in this fight, because I think that the plus 200 line for Jim Miller and the minus 250 line for Jared Gordon is kind of big, considering what had just happened. I thought maybe it'd be 150 and plus 150, so it'd be kind of like a split odds there. But you got Jim Miller, who has showcased that he can knock people out with the three fight like streak that he was on before he lost his last fight. He's all about getting into the clinch, wrestling down, and winning by submission. He used to do low volume, but then he packs power in his hands. And after Jared Gordon got knocked out, I could see that playing a plot problem if he is not at top shape, and Jim Miller could steal this fight. But I'm going with Jared Gordon to win this one by decision. He has good striking, but he has great wrestling base. He has good takedowns. He has good control on the mat. He showcased that against Paddy Pimblett in the fight. I thought he won, but the judges just didn't see it the right way. But yeah, I thought Jared Gordon should have won that fight. Hey, he's good on the mat. He has good submission base as well. But it's all about control, using that strength of the body to control on the mat, do ground and pound, and move from positions to keep the fight on the mat, throwing volume while also grappling as well. That's his mainstay. And I think he gets that going. I think he controls Jim Miller. He avoids Jim Miller reversing into any submissions at all with his jiu-jitsu base. And I think this is an easy fight for Jared Gordon to win by unanimous decision victory over the big-time vet in Jim Miller. So I'm going with Jared Gordon by decision. I won't be betting it because I think it's a huge line at 250. I could see people pouring in money on Miller on Thursday or Friday, hoping that Jared Gordon doesn't let Gordon as long as the lines go down. But as of right now, I would not be betting Jared Gordon, even though I think he is, to me, one of the locks of this Saturday's fight card. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. This one's going to be fun. We got a men's matchup between Alex Caceres versus Daniel Pineda. I'm good. We got minus 175 for Caceres. We got plus 145 for Pineda. I'm going with Alex Caceres to win this by second round knockout. We've seen in the past that he has good karate striking. He throws great leg kicks. He throws to all levels. He has good striking output. He throws good combinations. He mixes up his leg kicks and his hand striking very well. He's good in the clinch along the cage. He defends takedowns well. He has good cardio. He has great movement. He has knockout power. And he's only struggling in fights against top-notch guys. You see the last loss that he had was to Sadiq Yusuf, who is a top 10 fighter in the featherweight division. And he's going up against a guy in Daniel Pineda, who's a good clinch artist. He has knockout power with his hands, but it's more about just one-punch knockout. And he's very good in round one, but then he starts to kind of slow down as the fight goes on. And Caceres is going to have a great gas tank, so he's going to be able to keep up the pace all fight. And at minus 175, that's a great price to get him at, considering how this fight is going to play out. So I'm going with Alex Caceres by second round knockout. I'm also going to play him at the minus 175 money line odds, and then I might take a stab at him by KO, TKO, or DQ as a secondary bet once I see what the odds are this Thursday or Friday. But I feel like you're going to get great odds with that as well. So I'm going to play that on this fight card for Cage's bet slip. So definitely keep an eye on Cage's bet slip, like I told you guys before. But Alex Caceres, second round knockout. Let's move on to the main event evening. This is going to be a banger of a fight for you in the men's flyweight the division. We got Kai Car France 100 underdog going up against the favorite at minus 125, Amir Albazi. What a fight that we have for you here. We got Amir Albazi, who's wrestling based. He looks to get the fight to the ground. He has good striking. It's a little limited, but his fight style is all about getting the fight to the ground, controlling his opponent on the mat, and then using that powerful ground and pound and control to keep the fight where he's looking to keep it so that they can't attack him on the feet. And he's very vicious with the takedowns. He can go at you all fight. I'm interested to see how it works in 5 rounds because just like Kai Car France, Amir Albazi has never fought at 5 rounds. So it's going to be a little bit of an IQ difference there, whereas you can just do it for all 3 rounds. Now you're doing it 5 rounds, so we got to see how he kind of paces himself in the mid-tier rounds. Whereas in the beginning and the end, I could see him going full throttle with the rounds 1 through 5, and it makes it that way. But I like his skill set. But then you got Kai Car France, who, of course, has that kickboxing background. He has knockout power. He has quickness. He has great movement. He has great counters. He mixes up the leg kicks and the strikes very well. He trains, of course, at City Kickboxing, so he trains with the best of them, and he has great takedown defense. You saw him use that in the past to get a victory, of course, in fights, and then that's going to be the big portion of this fight is can Kai Car France defend Amir Albazi's takedowns, and can Amir Albazi learn to fight on the fly and kind of change his game plan if those takedowns don't work early on. I do think that Amir Albazi has the better gas tank, but I know that Kai Car France has the better power. So this is a yin to yang type of matchup, and it's going to be all dependent on base who will dictate their fight plan here. Right now, I'm going with Amir Albazi by decision. I just think that wrestling background, if he can get the fight to the ground and take down Kai Car France several times, that he's going to have a better chance of controlling this fight, using less on his gas tank, making Kai Car France work to get up. And then because he's working to get up, you have to exude more energy, and it's going to take a little bit off of his power with his striking. But like I could see the other way around too. If he defends the takedowns, he's going to be able to strike all day with Amir Albazi. But both guys have good chins. Both the guys have great talent. But right now, I'm going with Amir Albazi by decision. He has 1 loss on his record. Kai Car France put a lot into that last fight against Brandon Moreno. He looked great, but then he got popped towards the end. He showcased that he can get hit or submitted. And I just feel like we haven't seen Amir Albazi get battle tested yet. And until he does, I'm going to size with him on this one because I do like that wrestling style in a 5-round fight against the guy who usually exudes a lot of pace, a lot of movement, and a lot of striking. So right now I'm edging with Amir Albazi by decision here. But if I see something very different in the weight cut when they do the weigh-ins, I could slide to Kai Car France because he does have great odds at plus 100. I just have a feeling that Amir Albazi is going to pull off the win here. I would have thought that Amir Bazi would have been the plus 100, and then Kai France would have been the minus 125 because of his background, the bigger fights he's fought. He's fought the better competition, and he's a better striker. But I bet that the wrestling based, it made a difference on odds bettors, and that's why they made Amir Bazi minus 125. I could be hitting Amir Bazi with the money line and by decision come Friday or Saturday, but I'm going to wait until I see the weigh-ins on Friday to make my decision there. But I'm going with the favorite, Amir Bazi, to win this one and to be the next in line for a title shot at either Brandon Moreno or Alexander Pantoja after they fight later this summer. Other than that, that wrap things up with the UFC on ESPN 6 picks and prediction with yours Cage down. Just like I said before, please smash the like button down below, help us out in the algorithm, and give me your feedback in the comment section on your picks and predictions and betting odds for this fight card. I will be back next week for the big time pay-per-view, UFC. We got the women's bantamweight title matchup between Nunez going to we got a nice matchup. We've been waiting for this for a month. We got Charles Oliveira versus Benir Dariush in the lightweight division. Likely the winner will get the next title shot at Islam Makhachev. So check that out. I'll be there next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with my upload for the UFC pay-per-view picks and predictions for June 10th. But be back next time, and don't forget to check out any of the content on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. We go strong every day, Monday to Sunday. We have at least 1 to 2 shows on a day. So hit us up on YouTube and subscribe to us as well, and then follow us on Twitter so you never miss any of the action on the network. But as always, this is Cage My IQ. This is my picks and predictions for UFC on ESPN 46, and I will see you guys next time on another edition of Cage My IQ. Thanks for tuning in. Put the ones up in the air. Acknowledge me.